Welcome back to the channel. Thank you all for hanging with me on this Sunday afternoon. I want to talk about one of the greatest flipping baits ever invented. And the only reason it's one of the greatest flipping baits is because we've made it better, but this was a revolution when it came to flipping. It's the Reaction Innovation Sweet Beaver. Now, everything has kind of spawned out of this. The Bronco Bug, uh, whatever the real version of the Bronco Bug is. They've made it better, and we've changed this. The one that I flip a lot is the Stinger. It's basically a beaver style bait, but this part kicks. Now, this is still, in my opinion, one of the greatest flipping baits. I just don't have any of them left, and I got a different bait that I've been confident in for years. But if I could go back in time, um, this is the best flipping bait, and everything else has kind of come off that. And the guy that created it, his name's Andre Moore. He fished the Bassmaster Classic. He's created a lot of revolutionary products in fishing. So big respect, lots of appreciation for that guy. He created the BMF flipping hook. That was kind of the revolution of straight shank flipping hooks, and then also the skinny dipper and a lot of other really good baits that pretty much created new genres of baits. That solid body, small swim bait fished in shallow water around grass and other types of cover. There was nothing really like that until that came around. It was on the cutting edge of the swim baits, but we were using swim baits for catching suspended bass, offshore fishing. We didn't really have one that was a dominant shallow water player, and we knew nothing about swim baits at that point in time. I mean, we thought if you caught a bass on a swim bait this big, you better get the net because it was going to be a giant every single time. We didn't know that swim baits can be a numbers bait and a big fish bait, and the specific times of the year to throw it. We thought it was just if you wanted to catch a big fish. We didn't know that there was a magic window in the post spawn. There was a magic window in the fall on that really little swim bait, and a really good pre-spawn swim bait bite, depending on how much water clarity you have. But this is where Reaction Innovations really took off. And I think if you've been around, this was like 2005, 2006 maybe, when this came out. And we had brush hogs, we had lizards, we had paddle tail worms, but we had nothing like this. Some craw baits. And I know the Packer craw was out at that time, but we didn't have anything that glided and did what this bait did. And this was on the cutting edge of when punching really became a thing. Now, the last thing I will say about this whole thing is we didn't have YouTube. We didn't have this channel where everyone would know everything about fishing. You could keep things secret. So there was probably techniques like punching and even flipping, and just until it won a tournament, no one knew about it. They could keep this under wraps for decades. Now, the second something is won, everyone knows about it, and they can all master it within like a year. So when we started learning about the shaking a minnow thing a couple years ago, it wasn't long before those younger guys had that technique mastered. And the punching thing was the deal for probably a really long time. And then it won every single tournament down in Florida for like a decade. It seemed, probably not, but it definitely seemed that way. And this was what was underneath that ounce and a half weight. So big respect to Reaction Innovations. This is one of also the coolest colors ever. It's black and blue, green pumpkin, the most simple thing ever, but this is my favorite on Guntersville, and it works everywhere because black and blue and green pumpkin work everywhere. But try that if you haven't, and if you didn't know that story, I'm glad I could share it with you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the water.